Hello and welcome to the upload for Monday the 23rd of July. Today we're talking all things San Diego Comic-Con. From your Aquaman to your Buffy ladies. Alright, it was a big 4 days, so I've dot pointed everything that came out, I think everything, and I'm just going to regurgitate it up into your face. All the latest news, the trailers, everything that dropped from San Diego Comic-Con. I'm going to start with what could be my favorite thing of the whole thing, and it came in during the 10 years of the Clone Wars panel, Star Wars The Clone Wars. The Clone Wars is back! That's right, the originally cancelled Clone Wars series is coming on back. Season 7 is dropping on the Disney streaming service at some point next year. There's no confirmed date, which hurts me a little bit. I want to know when I can watch it, but it's all very exciting. Ahsoka's back. It is all very episode 3 looking. I'm very excited. Something I'm hesitant about is the Doctor Who trailer that dropped during the Doctor Who panel. Unlike the teaser trailer, this one did show a little bit. No spoilers, thankfully. I don't need to know anything, but I'm very excited for this. There was also the Charmed reboot. They're rebooting Charmed, and the pilot of that reboot was shown at San Diego Comic-Con. And people apparently liked it. It was apparently a very topical pilot. There was, jabs at the president. There was, safe sex and abortion talks in there. They addressed a few issues that, for the target demographic, it's something that, I guess they should know. It was apparently a good episode though. People that were there enjoyed it, but when you're in a room full of other people watching a thing that's exclusive, generally it's very easy to get hyped. So I wouldn't put your hype levels too high, but yes, a Charmed pilot episode reboot was shown at Comic-Con. Moving on to something that has finished, and it's nothing to do with the new season, but Breaking Bad turned 10 years this year, and they had a panel about Breaking Bad. And the only highlight of this panel, apart from, probably a few bits of tidbits about Breaking Bad, was when Aaron Paul came out with his little baby in a little Heisenberg costume. Friggin' adorable. I mean, come on, it's a baby dressed as a bald man. What's not to love? We then move on to Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's a new series coming to Nickelodeon, and they released a trailer of it. I haven't seen one of these series in a very long time, but I'm sure kids are very excited. It comes out September 17th on Nick, and some kid will enjoy it. But speaking of kids, and LEGO DC Supervillains also got a trailer, and we got a little bit more information this time. There was a lot more story focus, showing the alternate Justice League that are kind of like the bad guys. They're against the Justice League. It also proved something that Josh had speculated, which is that you will be able to create a character that will be the protagonist of the game that kind of, zips in and out of different supervillain powers. Assumedly, you will still play as the Joker and Bane and stuff like that. But it's very interesting that rather than having the character customization thing as a fun side thing, it's actually an integral part of the game this time, and, you're making your protagonist. But moving on to DC Comics, something, I don't want to go too into it because I know comics it's very a niche market. Comics are niche. But DC Comics did announce that Grant Morrison is back, and he'll be writing a new The Green Lantern series in November, and surprisingly, not really surprisingly, it's not. A Shazam ongoing series will be coming later this year to, of course, tie in with the movie. It's the same thing Marvel does. When Deadpool 2 came out, they were like, hey, here's a comic all about Domino. I bet you're interested in that. Want to read? So this time DC are doing the same thing with Shazam. It's we haven't made a Shazam comic in a while. Oh, that's a movie? We should probably do something about that. But staying on comics, and DC are bringing DC Black Label, which will basically publish kind of dark and edgy comics. I know it's shocking that DC would need a separate line to publish dark and edgy comics, kind of all they do, but it's kind of just to separate, the normal comics kids can read. Anyone can pick this up, but this Black Label, this is for adults. They stay over here. The DC Black Label series will start safe with stories from Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman first. And the exciting thing is that veterans Frank Miller and John Romita Jr. are bringing out a Superman Year One comic. And Batman Year One is one of the greatest comics. It's, a lot of Batman comics are always deemed the greatest comics, but this Year One it's very exciting. So I'm very excited to see a Superman Year One from the veterans. But staying on DC, and DC, as you may know, have a DC Universe app coming very shortly. It's a kind of subscription service where you get TV, movies, comics. They just throw a lot of stuff in your face. It's like Netflix for DC, and they released a trailer for one of the shows that they're exclusively making for this streaming service, and the trailer was a bit shit. It was a trailer for Titans, which is basically Teen Titans, but it's not teen because it's dark and gritty. Batman, right? Batman. Batman. It's just very difficult to attach yourself to a thing where everyone's just really grumpy and depressing. Look, I know it's kind of the thing with the Teen Titans, if they were in the real world, it's like the mutants. The mutants feel like outsiders and outcasts, but there is no joy in that show. I don't want to watch a show where I just feel sad. That's me personally. Maybe people do. I'm sure that people do. But the flip side of the DC Universe coin was Stargirl, which got an announcement for a series. No trailer for it, but so Stargirl, yeah, Stargirl will be coming to the DC streaming service sometime next year. It's another TV series. So here's the thing, DC Universe costs like $75 a year. You pay that for PS Plus, you get 2 free games. They're giving you comics and movies and stuff. It's all very exciting, but I don't want to support that Titans thing. That looks gross. Just looks gross. I just feel uncomfortable. Speaking of gross, and Iron Fist Season 2 had a panel. Sorry, Iron Fist. One of the 2 big things that came out of the panel is that September 7th we'll see Season 2 dropping on Netflix. And also Alice Eve was announced to be a part of Season 2, and she'll be playing Typhoid Mary. Now, you might not know who Typhoid Mary is, but this is a photo of her. She's terrifying. She's insane. She's just a crazy character, and I love Alice Eve, and I'm intrigued by Typhoid Mary, so I'm interested to see how that meshes together for Iron Fist Season 2. It's the only thing I'm intrigued about for Iron Fist Season 2. But moving on, and Friday arrived with a little bit of a sad news. Technically not Comic-Con infused news, but it's comic-related news. James Gunn has been fired from Guardians Volume 3 and any future Disney properties. Basically, he tweeted some terrible stuff 10 years ago. He classed them as jokes. They're not jokes. It's related to pedophilia and rape, and it's just, they're not things that you could really even class as a joke, or I don't know how someone would consider him a joke. He is a kind of very open, very, out there kind of person, and apparently 10 years ago he was doing this constantly, but they're the kind of tweets that you probably shouldn't leave up there too long. Disney have clearly seen these tweets and, just gone, you're out, mate. So where that puts Guardians 3, where that puts his career, I don't know. The only things that we do know so far is that Zoe Saldana and Dave Bautista, Gamora and Drax have spoken out and in support of James Gunn, and that they are quite sad that he won't be looking after the Guardians films. So I don't know what that says about the Guardians. But let's move on to something happy. Maybe. Joss Whedon, you know him? The one that really struggles to write females in the 21st century? Well, he's rebooting Buffy. Buffy. Whedon will be executive producing the new series. Not new series, reboot. It's right fresh from the start, exploring the Buffy universe from a new perspective, and just taking it in a different direction. It's weird, because I feel like it's such a cult show that I don't know how they're gonna soften the blow of, recasting and rebooting the whole show. I don't know how it'll go. Main thing is, Joss Whedon he's lost the knack of writing strong female leads. He kind of butchered Wonder Woman in Justice League, all the empowerment and the way they built up her character in the Wonder Woman film kind of went away, and he didn't do wonders with Black Widow in the second Avengers film, making her more of a love interest than anything else. So, not too sure how this will go, but, fans of Buffy, some are saying it's great, some aren't. We'll see how it goes. No trailers, no pictures, nothing has come out of it, but Buffy reboot is on the way. But, speaking of a show that is well and truly on the way out, it's The Walking Dead. They held a panel, they showed a new trailer for Season 9, and they officially confirmed that Rick Grimes will be leaving the show at the end, I guess, of Season 9. I left on Season 3. I'll get back to it one day. There's just a lot of that show to watch. But speaking of a lot of that show to watch, Fear the Walking Dead also dropped their Season 4B trailer. It showcased a few of the things to come in Fear the Walking Dead's 4th season. Cool. But moving on to something that is also cool is the second series of Star Trek Discovery. They held a panel and they dropped a trailer, as most people did. The trailer showcases that the show will be going in a much more spacey-wacy direction. There's a lot more action, a lot more interesting stuff, and I just might need to come back to it. Speaking of things I might have to come back to, Vikings held a panel, and they gave us a little bit more of Season 5. It's all Viking madness and blood and gore and screaming Lagertha. It's all very cool. But speaking of things that are super cool, Young Justice is back. You got Clone Wars on the Thursday, and you got Young Justice on the Friday. People are just loving these animated things coming back. Young Justice Season 3 has been wanted for so long, and now it is here. Well, not technically here, we got a trailer and it will be coming later this year, and it will be titled Young Justice outsiders. Staying on animated properties, and Spider-Verse had somewhat of a panel, and they confirmed some things which some people at first, you might not like it, but I swear it's a good idea. Nicolas Cage is voicing a Spider-Man. That's right, Nick Cage will be donning the role of Spider-Man Noir. And look, you might be like, why would you give that guy a role in anything? But I feel like his gravelly, odd, kind of intonation voice is totally gonna suit the noir style of Spider-Man Noir. I'm in. Kimiko Glenn will be donning the role of Penny Parker, and you're like, who's Penny Parker? It's like a anime Spider-Man that has a massive mech robot. It's real. And John Mulaney will be playing Spider-Ham. Yes, Spider-Ham is a real thing. I'm gonna blur that. I'm lapping up everything in this film. I will take any news I can get for this thing, but staying on Spider-Man properties, and Venom also got a panel. They showed a bit of footage that we won't get to see, unfinished footage, you know, visual effects not done, but apparently super action-packed, super venomy. I still don't know how I feel about this film. Maybe it'll be good. They also announced that the villain, or at least maybe one of the villains, will be Riot, which is one of the kind of five prime symbiotes that came from Venom. I don't know what this film's gonna be, but we'll just let it happen. Again, Venom is coming out later this year. But moving on to more Marvel, and Cloak and Dagger is getting a second season. I think it's only up to it's like 2 episodes left, so anyone watching Cloak and Dagger, you will get a second series, so don't worry if it ends in a cliffhanger. They're gonna fill that cliff in with a second series. You don't have to worry, everything's gonna be fine. But moving away from Marvel, we got a trailer for Glass. Now, Glass is, of course, the big crossover M. Night Shyamalan event of the year. It's like Infinity War for horror films. Bruce Willis, James McAvoy, and Samuel L. Jackson will all reprise their roles from the previous films. It looks creepy, weird. It looks good. It looks very good. I love a good thriller. We also got a first look at Good Omens, which is a show based on the Neil Gaiman book. It looks very exciting. It's got David Tennant, it's got Michael Sheen, it's got John Hamm, and they also announced that the voice of God will be Frances McDormand. This thing looks great. And to actually have Neil Gaiman on board as the director-writer, oh, there is no way this isn't going to be as weird as all hell. But something that is less than weird as all hell is the Bumblebee movie. I'm super excited about it. They held a panel open with this. It apparently went on to be an 80s field trip. The whole film is a love letter to the original series. Super excited for it. A whole heap of news came out of it. I'd count it as spoilers, so I don't want to say it to you. I don't want you to have to avoid it. There's a link down below to the tweet where that music video came from, and that has all the news that was dropped from the event. But moving on to something that isn't too spoilery, Don Cheadle is Donald Duck. Yeah, well, sort of. In the DuckTales series finale, it's an hour-long bombastic thing. Donald Duck gets given an electronic voice box to fix up his and guess what? When you fix up that, he turns into Don Cheadle's voice.
Ooh. You mad scientist? Rubber baby buggy bumpers, rubber baby buggy bumpers, rubber baby buggy bumpers. Wow.
The video that announced it also had a quick little teaser about the fact that Don Cheadle was, of course, a Thanos survivor. Disney, Interplay, oh, good stuff. Speaking of Interplay, when you get all the mini lion robots and form them together, what do you get? You get Voltron Season 7 and a trailer. That's right, Voltron has hit Season 7 over on Netflix, and we got a new trailer for the new series, and it looks all flashy and cool. And staying on animation, and Adventure Time is nearing its end. It's the final season, Season 10, final episode. We got a clip from that final episode, and John DiMaggio spoke about the fact that he cried in the final recording session. I don't know the Adventure Times all that well, but I know it's kind of steered into the adult market, so I feel like this season finale is gonna break some hearts. There's gonna be some crying. There's gonna be some tissues. I might just watch it. I might just watch it and see if I care. I have a very cold heart. But speaking of cold, and I have no idea what this show is, but it's apparently based on a book of the same name. The Passage got its first episode shown at Comic-Con. People seem to love it. The author of the original book said it was exciting and weird to see the adaptation of his book come to life. I mean, maybe the show will be great. Hopefully I found a trailer so there's some sort of context, but otherwise, yeah, new show coming from Fox called The Passage. Let's move on to Saturday. Saturday was a big day for the DCs. But before the DCs, because screw Will, what a weird link, was of course Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald. They got a new trailer that introduced Nicholas Flamel, which, if you're a Harry Potter fan, I bet you creamed. I want that on a t-shirt, I bet you creamed. The trailer was full of magic and whimsy, and also full of whimsy was Johnny Depp, who came out on stage in character, full Loki mode. And, a little bit weird. It wasn't the performance. No, the performance was fine. The internet just realized that Johnny Depp was in the same room as Amber Heard. And if you know anything about all the allegations and the crazy stuff going on with those two, the internet wasn't a big fan that Warner Brothers put them in the same room. But let's move on to something a bit happier. The fact that Ezra Miller took to the stage in a Toadette costume. It was at this moment Will had realized his head was off the frame for quite a long time. He then did nothing about it. Oh, my spirits have been lifted. Oh, what's that? It's Aquaman footage. But maybe I like it.
That was awesome.
I don't hate it. Aquaman got its first footage, that's right. And it looks promising. We don't have to hate this one. It looks light and it looks vibrant and interesting. So fingers crossed this one works for DC. But we also got a trailer for Shazam, which looks equally promising.
Your phone's charged. Your phone's charged. What the hell?
It looks fun and light, and maybe it'll work. Maybe it'll work. Something that we can almost guarantee will work is Wonder Woman 1984. And Gal Gadot, Patty Jenkins, and Chris Pine all took to the stage to talk a little bit about the film. They also showed exclusive footage to the audience of both Kristen Wiig as Cheetah and Chris Pine returning to the scene. They didn't say how he returns. That's all very exciting. They also did say that the film is less of a sequel and more its own thing, which is very interesting. Don't know how that works in a big grand cinematic universe. Hopefully they're not moving in the direction of like individual films. I mean, they have got like 5 different Joker films, each with a different actor. I don't want to think about it. Let's move on to something I also don't know how I want to think about it. It's a new Godzilla film, and we got a new trailer for that. It's called Godzilla King of the Monsters, and it features 11, well, not really 11, it's the girl that plays 11, but she's kind of still screaming and being angsty. So she could very much be 11. Sorry, love, you've been a bit typecast. And something I'm not too sure about, there's a live-action Kim Possible coming and they dropped a picture. Look, don't worry, it's just one of those Disney films that doesn't matter to the world. We can all just step back and let the kids enjoy it. No, I don't think even the kids will enjoy it. Something apparently kids like is Steven Universe, and it'll be getting a feature film. That's right, the Steven Universe TV series will be coming to the big screen in a full-length feature film later next year. And speaking of full-length feature films that are animated, Lego Movie 2 got a quick little tease from Chris Pratt. He came out and talked a little bit about the film, and also dropped a clip of the film, which was exclusive to Comic-Con, but it features a new character called Rex Dangervest. Chris Pratt is playing that character, and it is a combination of Star-Lord and Owen from Jurassic World. And I need that in my life ASAP. I've been a bit like, do we need another Lego movie? We definitely do now. But also, a little bit of weird news is that Super Troopers 3 is getting another film after the big, well-done, crowd-funded film. They're getting another one. I don't think they'll crowd-fund that one. Arrow, Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, and Supergirl all received trailers for their respective new series. Supergirl will feature its first transgender actress in Nicole Maines as Dreamer. And The Flash revealed that its new main big bad is Cicada, or Cicada. How do people say it in America? I don't know. But Krypton, which is a series that actually happened, you know, the one that's like the history of, I think, Superman's dad? It's not even Superman, it's like one step removed from being as interesting as you want it to be. Either way, season 2, they're getting Lobo, which is this guy, which is probably good. It's something that's also probably good is The Gifted, that show about the X-Men, but not really the X-Men, just like the kids that have mutant powers, but one of them is like the daughter of Magneto, but it's not Scarlet Witch. It's all very confusing, but either way, they're getting a second season, and they were given a trailer. And that looks cool. Speaking of another thing that looks cool is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. The show's 6th season will have Clark Gregg picking up the reins to direct the opening episode, and will also push Jeff Ward to become a series regular. There was a Deadpool 2 panel, no talks of another sequel, but it was just kind of more of a celebration full of dick jokes and real bad stuff. But the cool thing is, Vanisher turned up. looking dashing as ever. Speaking of something that looks dashing as ever, Spider-Man PS4 got a little bit of information. They got a little bit of a trailer that featured Silver Sable. We also found out that the third pre-order suit is the Velocity suit, a brand new suit designed exclusively for the game. There'll be a specially designed PS4 Pro set, and Mary Jane was announced to be played by Laura Bailey. Laura Bailey is one of those Nolan North types where you've probably played her, you just didn't know. That's not how I wanted that to sound. The Orville got a trailer for its second season. The cast are all insane. I've just got to jump on this show. McFarlane mentioned that he thinks he's had more fun and been more comfortable in this genre than he has been in comedy for the past 2 decades. And that maybe I've been in the wrong job this whole time. I slipped into an accent there. Didn't want to. I think I'm just very tired. This video has taken a long time. Yep. And speaking of something that's taken a long time is The Simpsons. It just won't die, and at the 30th season panel, got a little bit of a tidbit on how the show might end. A little bit emotional. Hopefully I found a clip, otherwise you're about to hear my voice say it. Al Jean, the showrunner, said that, "I thought the final episode could end with them going to the Christmas pageant they went to in the first episode. So the whole series has been this one big loop without a beginning or an end. But now that I've said that, it probably won't happen. Thank you." What a lovely way to end it. But Sunday did roll around a couple of hours ago, and Riverdale and Supernatural have panels, they dropped trailers, the shows are still going. But let's jump on over to the upvote. You may remember the Deadpool musical from a few years ago. Well, there's a sequel, and this thing, it just keeps going, and it's unexpected, and it's fun, and the music is great, and the choreography is amazing, and the visual design, oh, it's like the Uncharted thing if it was a little bit better.
I wanna be where the heroes are. I wanna be tag teaming the bad guys, rolling around with that wheelchair-bound Mr. Clean.
Oh, but that is all the news from San Diego Comic-Con for today and for this year, or is it? Is there anything that I missed? There probably is. Let me know down in the comments below. What was your favorite reveal from this year's convention? Just write it all down there. That's where the comments, that's what they're there for. They're also there for you to like and subscribe if you want more stuff. And if you want more stuff, you can jump on over to our Facebook and Instagram pages and give them their respective followables too. Also, we have a Patreon. There's now 14 beautiful humans that have dropped by and now dropped into our super secret Discord. Did you like my dance move? Just $2 will get you in there. But remember, it's your money. Look after yourself first. But if you do jump on over, you'll get to talk all things San Diego Comic-Con. It's all very exciting. I'm all the way down here now, so let's say goodbye. And while I'm down here, I'll just tell you can click a video up there and a video over there, and you can hit subscribe over there. There's also a lot of toys that they announced at the convention, and I want to talk about that. So maybe a video on that will come out soon. Subscribe over there if you want to hear about all the toys that were announced at Supernova's San Diego Comic Land.